right. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Abomination Goddess podcast, where we sit down once a week to delve into the mysteries of intuition, offer a space to explore the knowing within you, and help you lift the veil so that you can see more of the real world around you. With me, as always, is Casie Halseth. She is the author of the Abomination Born series. It is a fictional portrayal of her real life experiences with the mystical realms. Her action packed books are full of lessons, insights, and calls for other Abomination Born folks around the world to start connecting, which is what we do with our podcast each week. She is an award winning public speaker, and I think that you'll find by watching this podcast and reading her books that she just effortlessly draws her audience into her world, both in her book and on her stage. She is an excellent teacher, and I am so happy that she is with me every week. Welcome, Casie.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. And my name is Ashley Kim. I am the author of Villainera Goddess. It is a book that I wrote to help women on their journey to set boundaries, build confidence, and heal themselves. It is a very honest and open look at what I went through and the tools that I used to survive my villain era. I went through my journey alone, and so I wrote this book so that you wouldn't have to go it alone. I will be riding the crazy roller coaster with you. So, welcome everybody. We're so happy to have you here. We start the podcast off with show and tell, and we have some really cool things today. I'm very excited for Casie for the stuff that she has. So, I will go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. All right, it should start to come up.
There it is.
Awesome. Okay. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go first, I think.
I feel like you have a lot to teach us. So, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, I will go first. First of all, I was putting together my January newsletter for my Villainera Goddess Substack, and part of it was about being myself and how I felt like in 2025 I really started to find my people. And so I wanted to share this wonderful picture of a pair of socks with boobs on it
Oh, is that
because
what that was?
different kinds of
What a,
boobs shapes. Um, my friend and I, we give each other boob themed stuff all the time, and it just cracks us up. So we have breast friend necklaces, so it's just like a heart with a pair of boobs in it. Anyway, but it reminded me of my January newsletter because I like to just toss some things out there every once in a while that might turn certain kind of person off, and those are the kind of people I don't want. So today I'm tossing some boobs out there, and if it doesn't resonate, you can move on. If it does, welcome.
what does the sock say? There's the words at the bottom there.
Oh, at the very bottom it says
Yeah.
"Hooray for boobies." Oh my goodness. So I had to share that. It was like just perfect timing. So we give each other gifts that are just the most random things ever. And I was cleaning out the gift bag again this morning, like, okay, I'm gonna put all this stuff away. And I came across this right after working on that newsletter. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. All right. So next on my list is this book. So I don't, anyone on social media might have come across this, but this was written in the Middle Ages time by a woman. And it was basically kind of like metaphysical sounding book on your soul. And it kind of, the entire thing was kind of like you don't need the church, is the way that I understood it. And so the church burned her, killed her and burned her because of,
Oh,
yes. And so I bought the book and I bought a copy for me and for my friend. And the really interesting thing is I saw my mom yesterday and she goes, oh my gosh, there's this book I heard about and I bought. It was something souls. And I like pull up the book. I'm like, is it this? And so I think there's like a calling right now for us women to turn to books like this. I'm assuming because I've seen women who are on our podcast have posted about this book. So it's just like popping up everywhere. So it was written a long time ago. It says it was modernized by a man. Unfortunately, I wish it was modernized by a woman, but whatever, that's fine. So we'll see if it's something that I can understand. Sometimes some of the things that were written a long time ago, I'm like, what does that even mean? I barely got through my Shakespeare classes in college. So anyway, I'm really excited
Oh, I'm
about this.
excited to hear. Yeah, I can't wait to hear
Yeah.
about this.
Um, yeah, I will give you guys updates as I go through it. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to show, so we started the Omen Days on December 26th. Deborah Burris runs a group, and she just kind of, for us anyway, has kind of launched us into this divination form where you plan for your year, and each day during the 12 Omen Days is tailored to a specific month of the year of 2026. And I created a junk journal. So I was wondering how I wanted to keep all my information together. So what I did is I saved all of the wrapping paper, cards, things like that from Christmas, gift giving. And I have my own binding machine at home because I'm weird like that. So I bound a bunch of papers and then glued the wrapping paper on, so you can kind of see like on each page. It is not pretty at all, but I think that's kind of the point of a junk journal. And I just love it. I love going through it. And so, for example, um, I have three cards. I pull gemstones for spiritual. There's a female body deck that I am using for work, and then the moonology cards for life, and then I'm doing angel numbers and runes as well. And so I journal about it, and then I tear that page out, glue it in there on my journal. Then on the other side, I am documenting weather, any signs, symbols, anything like that, anything from my body, anything from the day. So I kind of covered up some of it because I'm not that much of a sharer. Um, and one of the stones that I got, which I was cracking up, was this blue kyanite.
Kyanite, kyanite.
Okay. And so it kind of made me laugh because Casey knows I have been on a mission to learn how to not, oh, here, there's a picture of it. I just got some in the mail. Um, to learn how to kind of control telepathy between me and my children. Because there is just no privacy in our house. Anything I think, type out, whatever, it's coming right out of their mouths. Um, so I was kind of cracking up that this was what I got for January for like my whole spiritual thing. But there's a lot of other really good things about it too. I definitely don't want to increase my telepathy right now. I want to squish it down, but that doesn't mean that it can't help me control it, maybe. But the other things I liked about it, it can quickly calm your mind and body. It's a really powerful stone. I don't know if you've had one of these, but
Yeah.
as soon as I picked it up, it was like my chest was just like expanding and growing. It was a really cool feeling. And I like paying attention to like where I feel stuff when I pick up a stone. It is great for aligning all chakras. Um, it can be used when performing healing to create a stronger link between you and the person or the creature that you are trying to heal. Work with it to send or receive healing energy and boost telepathy with friends. Place it on your third eye when laying down or going to sleep, and that helps with astral travel and lucid dreaming. Blades of blue kyanite make excellent wands to brush away any negative energy from others, dispelling anger and frustration. You can make a healing grid with blue kyanite to help you stop any self-destructive behavior patterns and or if you feel moved away from your true path. So it is like a really cool stone. So I actually just got mine in the mail yesterday, and I it is it is so powerful. I put it in my bedroom because that's where I store a lot of my stones. And I had one that I was putting on my nightstand with my other stones because I'm like, okay, let's all get to know each other. Um, and then I had to get up about 10 o'clock and move all of them into the dining room because I had my 6-year-old in bed with me last night. And she rolled over and she goes, Mom, why is your brain always trying to tell my brain what to do? And it's always talking to me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So we moved the telepathy stones to the other room so that we could get some sleep. So it definitely does help with that. And my daughter was not impressed at all.
That is so cool.
Yes. So I had to share about my blue kyanite experience and
I love
yeah.
that. Now, what I would if I'm going to do something for myself to make me something or other, whatever. So like you're trying to get yourself to not do something.
Yeah.
Kyanite, kyanite comes out in an alluvial pattern, like a fan. I mean, it just comes out. I mean, it's an ultimate sender.
Oh my
So
gosh, yes. Yeah. And that's what it
so
feels like.
it's a
Yeah, like a
sender.
fan. Yeah.
Yes, it grows that way. And so like if I want to use it for helping to communicate, blue kyanite is the thing.
Yeah.
But if I want to have a stone that's going to, or even blue kyanite, if you can find it that way, but I would use a round stone, one that is it's even been manipulated to be round, or put in through those tumblers or something,
Mhm.
or cut to be round, because I would use when I'm working on me, I choose my
Right.
stones that are round so that because it has like a border, a boundary on it, and it's helping
Yeah.
me with my boundary. So like
Yeah,
for
that's what I need.
communicating, I've got a blue sodalite globe, a little one, so I would use that to help. Or if I don't want to say something that's negative or something like that, maybe I've got so many of them. I'll just go to the one that calls to me, sort of. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Right. I will, yeah, I will choose. I know I have a few round ones, so I will go find my round stones
yeah,
and
yeah,
see what
yeah.
I
Anything with, especially the alluvial pattern, those are moving. Can't you just see the wild horses running on that path? That's the
Yeah,
one you would want if just before you have to give a speech, is blue
yeah,
kyanite. Whew,
yeah.
you're. I
Oh
have a
yeah,
blue kyanite ring, and it's a raw stone, just kind of sitting on top of a setting, and
yeah.
man, that thing just makes you just want to do things.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was very interesting. Just, I don't know the technical word for it, but it's kind of like my aura grew probably 3 times bigger than
Yeah,
what it was. Like, yes, it
yeah.
was very
It'd be great for
interesting.
astral travel or anything, any kind of
Yeah,
movement where you're just going to ride along.
yes, yeah, ride along, like literally get ready to take off.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, so that's what we went
yeah.
through last night. The blue, yeah, so I have to be careful where I keep this one.
You might even, for shutting down things, my favorite rocks are, something that I found outside that was a river rock that has been tumbled but naturally
Oh,
by the river.
yeah,
Some kind of one of your rounded, those kind of things, because they've already been through a lot
yep.
and they're
No,
helping you
I know.
to.
Yep. Okay. You said that. I know exactly what stone I'm using because I was cleaning probably 3 days ago and came across a stone that was not where it was supposed to be. And I said to it, "Why are you here? And what am I supposed to do with you?" So I picked it up. I brought it to my room with me. But now I know. Thank you, Casey. Yes, I have exactly what you just described, and it literally was just sitting in a weird spot so that I would find it. So yeah, yay! I love that.
Yeah, I yeah, I have these little things that's why I like stones that have been worked. People say, well, why would you buy a stone that somebody's done something to? And I'm thinking, because they've put some work into it, they've put their energy into it, they've done things to it, and it will
Mhm.
help me.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I never thought about it that way, but yes,
Yeah.
that is so true.
And so a river is the person who worked it, the lady of
Yeah.
the lake or the river. She's
Yeah.
she's done all that for you. And she
Yes.
says, okay, it's ready for you now.
Yep. Here you go.
She
Yeah.
presented
Thank
it.
you. Yep. I know exactly what stone I'm going to use. So thank you so much. Okay. That was all that I had.
Okay, let's go to yours. Your book. Let's go to your book cover there.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, I'm absolutely, you already know I love her book, but this is Ashley's book, Villain Arrogatus, and I absolutely love her book. And I'm putting together classes again on how to do the gift orders, how knowing about the gift orders, the way that they are ordered within a person can help one to understand yourself better as well as other people. And so
Mhm.
I thought, well, I'm sure I read some things about that in Ashley's book. So like, oh, I opened the first page I opened to, and there's something. I open again, and there's something else. I open again, and there's something else. Like, okay. And so that's what I've got today is you've got something in there for each one of the main gift orders, and you have some really helpful ideas on how to deal with it. Uh, let's see. Can I go ahead and just read something? I didn't send you this,
Yeah, go.
um, but this is you write so well. Let me put some eyes on so I can get it good. This is from chapter 10, page 95, Losing Friends While Finding Yourself. During the beginning of your villain era, you'll find that you will lose yourself. You'll lose how you view yourself, what your main priorities are, how you navigate life. It's all turned upside down, hidden, lost, and up to you to find. Through through soul searching, shadow work, therapy, and perseverance, you'll eventually find yourself again. Then after you find yourself, well, you start to lose friends. This part of the journey can feel like a mind F, full of ups and downs that doesn't allow you to relax or let your guard down. While your metamorphosis is happening on the inside, it's affecting every single area of your life on the outside. The pilgrimage to villainhood can be filled with big emotions and ass loads of insecurity, which can make you more sensitive to losing friends. So I thought that was so important in understanding dealing with other people and the gift orders. So we have four main gift orders, and this is how people react to us, and this is how we react to them, depending on which kind of information they take in, and that's is their favorite. Um, so first of all, intuitive. We can start with intuitive. These are key. Yeah, I can go to that page. Let's see, where does intuitive
Yeah, I
say?
might have to just scroll through real quick. Oh, hey, I'm
There, we
here.
got it right away. Okay, let's start with intuitive. These are key attributes no matter what order they arrive. So to understand what I'm talking about is if you find yourself, okay, if you broke it into half, let's say there's four. If you find yourself more like this than something else, then you're a little bit more of the intuitive side. So if you're smarter than most people that you know, if you're bored by routine, this all means that you're either in first position or second position, you're intuitive. Your far sight with a knowing, that means that you just know things in a distance.
Mhm.
You have anger when asked how you know something. So if somebody asks you how do you know something, if you get angry because you
Mhm.
you can't answer it. Um, if you're a genius, a whole lot of people that are geniuses are high intuitive.
Mhm.
Find yourself increasingly frustrated with those around you, and it's like, is there no one else that understands? They think no one understands them, and they are usually right about everything. And that's so true. High intuitives are usually right. So, does it seem like no one is as smart as you? So, if you answer yes to a whole lot of these, you know
Mhm.
that you're high intuitive. And dealing with other people that are high intuitive, if you're not like that, like I'm not that way, and when I realized what intuitive people are and how I'm not, intuitive is probably my last of my gift orders. Now I know that when somebody who is like that, when they say something to me, I don't argue with them. I was like, huh, I'll stand back. Oh, that must be intuitive that they're saying. Or if uh, I'm high audient, so I'll want to ask somebody, how do you know that? Or what's, and now I know
Yeah.
not to ask them because they can't answer anyway. It has totally changed my understanding of other people. I understand myself better, but I understand other people. And I'm slowly I'm getting people back in my life after I became the villain, you know, and started to be me.
Yep.
I lost everybody. Um, and I'm slowly, you know, choosing who comes back. But I'm
Mhm.
also, because I'm so aware of how different people are and their order of how they respond to people, uh, it's it's really been nice. It's just really been nice.
Yep. It is helpful. And I would say too on this one, for those watching and listening, when it says questions like, does it seem like no one is as smart as you? Casie isn't saying like, are you a narcissist? She's saying, are you sitting there watching people 1 year later go, hey, did you guys know blah, blah, blah? And you're sitting there going, yeah, I tried to tell you a year ago. Like that's what this is. It's not the person who's like, I'm smarter than you are. Like it's not the same thing. And so the people that this resonates with will know exactly what she means when she says this.
Yeah, yeah, because you're high intuitive.
Mhm. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
the next one is feeler. Um, so you can go to that page.
I can.
Oh, very good. These are the key attributes, no matter what order they arrive in again. So you're sensing group energy. The feelers are the ones who they walk into a group of people, they walk into a house, and their whole body will either stiffen up or get relaxed. So like when you walk into a place and you're a high feeler and you feel like, oh my God, I'm home. That's a feeler will do that. If you walk into a place and you're just all tense, a feeler will do that.
Mhm.
I am not a high feeler. I can walk into I can walk into the worst group of people, uh, and I will see, because I'm high visual, I will see icky things, but I'm so used to seeing icky things that it doesn't bother me. I mean, the
Mhm.
feelings that people put out and stuff, that doesn't bother me.
Mhm.
I so I've learned that when I watch my husband, who's a high feeler, when I watch his body when we walk into a place, if his body, his shoulders come up and he becomes a warrior, he's a Marine. So once his shoulders, he goes into that Marine soldier stance, I know
Yep.
something's up. And I'll see all these people. I can see, everybody's got a past, and I see all kinds of stuff,
Yep.
but he feels it and he knows that it's active right now. And
Mhm.
I don't necessarily know that it's active at the moment. I see their past, I see everything, sometimes their future, but I don't see in a feeling kind of way.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, that this really helped me.
Mhm.
So when I have people coming back into my life, as I'm, like you said, bringing the people back in after we become the villain to everybody else,
Yep.
uh, as people act these different ways, I am very understanding of how
Yeah.
they're communicating to me because of their gift orders.
Yep.
So a feeler will be sensing group energy. And this is something, they're the ones who do the long hug. Especially if they're first feeler, if that's their first way that they take in information, you can't get near them without them reaching for you to give you this long, 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 long hug. And
Yep.
it's how they do it. Um,
Yes.
and
I have
um,
a cousin like that, and as like an intuitive, my instinct is to push her away because I know that she's basically downloading everything about me, and I don't want her to. So I'm always like, but it's all
yeah,
with love. She's not a
that's
bad person at all.
that's how they take information in, is
Yeah.
that's how they communicate. And they're sending you communication through the hug, and they're
Yeah.
taking in information, they're learning everything about you in that hug, and they're sending information to you in that hug, and they don't understand why you're pulling away. They have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm very
yeah,
low in feeling and intuitive. And uh, I've had to learn. I've had to learn about the feeling.
yeah.
Feelers are the people with a high feeler are they're going to go through a state of depression easier, and
Hmm.
they will sink really low. And they will also go into that period of joy. It's almost like they have what's that called, bipolar, but they're not. Oh, they
Hmm.
might be. Some idiot may have diagnosed them as bipolar when actually they're just high feeler.
Yeah,
You know, they're just being who they are.
yeah. If you got through the 90s without being diagnosed bipolar, then good for you.
No, just like everybody was, wasn't it? Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So again, their body, their body, you can watch a feeler's body when me being a high visual, of course, I'm watching. I'm
Mhm.
watching. You being a high intuitive would be knowing somebody else's body language.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
you wouldn't even have to be looking at it because you would just know.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't ask you how you knew
I
because you wouldn't know how you knew. You just
know.
know. So they're what we're aware of body language, and their body language, their body is communicating
Mhm.
what information is that they're trying to send out. And so
Mhm.
if they have a secret language, their body has a language of its own.
Mhm.
Um, feelers will often go into states of lethargy. They, they're like, you want to do something? No, I don't think so. I don't know. It's they're the kind that once you get them down, they can't get up again. They don't want to go again. But once they're rolling and doing things, you can't stop them. You know, they're rolling
Yeah.
already. They're in motion. So
Mhm.
if you're around a person who's high feeler, a really high feeler, you have to get that momentum going with them
Yeah.
because they're not going to roll
Mhm.
right away. If they've
Yeah.
been in that lethargic mode has happened over them, it's going to take some movement to get them to slowly get going. And once they're going, they're fine. So, in other words, for someone like me, I don't get angry anymore at that. Why are you just
Yeah.
sitting there? I would think of all these people that I knew. They just sat. I mean, how could they just sit around doing nothing? And now I know, they're high feelers. And
Yeah.
they're,
Do you think they've just felt so much that they just have to sit there or like,
yeah, it's their body is communicating that they felt so much.
yeah.
It's communicating all this to the world. The body feels like it's not being heard enough
Yeah.
whenever any of these kind of goes into any of its key motions. It's because
Yeah.
the body feels it's not being heard or not being seen or not being felt enough by different people. And
Yeah.
so if a person is in that lethargic place, um, maybe to get into that lethargic place with them, come down
Mm.
into their mode, maybe, and to touch them, give them a pat, and
Mhm.
touch their hand or something like that. Communicate in a lethargic way, and then slowly your body will move to communicate. And you can't use words.
Mm.
When a person's in a feeling mode, words don't communicate very well.
Yeah. They don't mean anything.
They can't hear, the body doesn't hear it as well, but the body will pick up on another body and what the body's communicating.
Yeah.
Not to mention, rocks and everything else. I mean, we can use all kinds of other things, but just for
Mhm.
body to body.
Yeah.
Feelers will cry over the smallest things. Now, a lot of us are that way anyway, but feelers, yeah,
Mhm.
get hurt easily, uh, and also forgives easily. A
Mhm.
feeler can be quick to forgive.
Mhm.
Um, oh, this is something. Their clothing has to feel good. That was such a new concept for me when I realized all of this. My husband, he's a high feeler, and he has to have clothes that feel good.
Yeah.
I have to have clothes I think that look nice. I like the visual because I'm high visual, and he goes for the feel. So it was just a matter of a lot of shopping to find things that felt good. and look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then lastly, does it seem like no one respects your feelings?
Hmm.
And that is really key to a whole lot of people that have high feelers, is
Yeah.
they feel like no one understands their feelings.
Right.
And then move on to audient. There it is. So one of the key things that you're dealing with an audient person who's high audient in their first or second position is they think that giving you the silent treatment is a punishment. Don't you know that an intuitive feeler looks forward to having someone give them the silent treatment? But it
Oh
is
my
it is
goodness.
true. If a person is high audient, they will use the silent treatment or the shunning of other people. They'll shun you, and they use
Mhm.
that as a communication, because
Yeah.
anything that's audient is a way that they communicate.
Yeah.
High audience will laugh loud. They talk a lot. I'm definitely high audient. I over explain things. Um, I like to sing. I like music. I don't mind communicating. I love doing speeches, things like that. I'm high
Mhm.
audient.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the things that comes with the gift orders is, especially with audient, is if you're a high audient and you're a high visual. I'm a visual audient. So when I'm talking, I want to explain to you in such detail that I'm painting you a picture with words. And the poor intuitive feelers are like shrinking away. Please make her stop. I can't take anymore. And so we go to the visual page. Visuals, they'll see things, psychic, they'll have psychic vision. We all have these, but if you favor that, you'll see things, you'll visualize things in the future, or you could see things that have happened in the past. I often will see things that people did in the past, like a little motion picture above them. Um, Visual people are focused on things. They have they have a, they can work on one little tiny project, one little thing for a very long time and just keep their mind on a focus
Hmm.
very easily. They easily understand their dreams. They see things in their dreams and they know what's going on. Visuals, it's your visual center that likes to make lists, likes to write lists, to-do lists.
Yeah.
They like to plan. They make plans. It's the visual center in us that makes plans. And visual people love to have maps, and visual people love anything to do with colors. Does it seem like no one sees you, like no one sees your point of view?
Hmm.
I, I thought that was cute.
I love that.
Okay, let's go to your book now with your intuitive page. Let's see,
Okay.
that's the one that has two things to it. Yeah, I better put the eyes back on. So when you're dealing with yourself and other people that have these gift orders, well, we all have the gift orders, but when you're dealing with trying to understand them,
Hmm.
I thought this was so good. This is on page 22 in your book. I give you permission to pick up your sparkling sword and become the slayer of fears. I give you permission to launch into this ugly battle of defeating fear and reclaiming yourself. Your intuition, your heart, and your future is locked away in a castle, and you're the savior. You're the victor. I know with all my heart and body that you'll walk off the battlefield with old, beat up fears following you, tamed and quiet in your footsteps. Now, you're now their master. And that's the intuitive speaking.
Hmm.
That is just so cool.
Love this.
I love how you give. you give people permission to deal with their intuition, because the intuition within us is going to tell us, oh yeah, don't do that, or yes, go ahead, do that, or whatever, and it can set us up for a whole lot of fear.
Oh
And
yeah. Well, and I mean, women are taught not to trust their intuition anyway, so it's
yes,
definitely a journey to get there where you start trusting it.
yes. Now, one of the tricky things about intuition is if intuition is in your first house, sort of,
Mhm.
let's say there's four houses of it, if that is your favorite way of taking in information all the time, then uh, it kind of fades into the second position. So whatever is in your second house, if intuition is in your first, whatever's in the second house then becomes intensified by the intuition. So like in your case, you're a feeler in the second house. So let's read more about feeler. And yours is on, oh, I don't have a page number for that one, but it's a say feeler on it.
Yep, I think this
There you
one
go.
says feeling. Yep, here we go.
Okay. I give you permission to let go of that tricky bitch known as shame. Shame isn't even her real name. She's a memory, emotion, or trigger dressed in an ugly beige dress to disguise herself. We don't accept imposters, and you're going to kick her to the curb. Doesn't that remind you of that picture that I've shown you before of that lady
Right, pretty
laying
one.
there? Yeah, I
Yeah,
wonder if
does.
I have that right here. All right, get it out. So like if you have intuition in your first house and a feeler in your second, it's going to be real hard to not listen to the fears of the feeling, because
Mhm.
the you're going to know why you should be afraid, or why you should your intelligence is going to justify your thinking of the feeling that you're having.
Mhm.
And um, I'm fortunate in that the last gift order I have is intuition. So I'm stupid when it comes to everything. I don't get caught up in feeling or visual or anything, because I don't have the intuition letting me know I'm right, because I
Mhm.
know that I don't know enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, that
The
does
the
make
yeah, the smarter somebody is with their intuition, the uh, way more difficult it is on them. Well, I don't know where I have this picture. I thought I had it right here. Oh, here it is.
sense. Here, I'll stop sharing so that we can see it real quick.
Where'd I go? There she is,
Oh, there it is. Yes, that lady.
that lady.
She got kicked to the curb.
So can you see, the smarter you are, the more intuition you have, and if your intuitive feeling, I mean, it'll just take you down into that beige dress, like you said. Had you seen that picture before you wrote this?
No, no, I hadn't.
Isn't it something?
Yeah, yeah,
Aren't
but
artists
it's yeah,
wonderful? You're a writer, and that person was an artist, and you both came up with the same thing and not even knowing
yeah,
each other.
I know, yeah, yeah, and I wouldn't have even remembered that picture until you said that. But yeah, I remember we've looked and talked about that a couple times on the podcast, but yeah, I didn't even put any of that together.
Yeah, she's a life-size picture at the Crystal Bridges um, beautiful museum.
Yeah.
So so whatever you have, if you have intuition in the first house, whatever you have in the second house, um, I feel for you, because that intuition is going to make the whatever's in that second house really smart and really know. So when you have a feeling about something, you're really, really right, but boy, it really hits you. Whereas, like
Hmm.
I said, if you have intuition at the end, you can be stupid about stuff and just head into danger, you know.
No big
Why would
deal.
you do that? I used to hear that why people would say, why would you do that? Why? And I'm saying, I have no boundaries. I have no fear. I have no smart knowing telling me don't do that. So let's go to your visual, the page that you have with the visual things.
Um, wait, hold on. Which one is that? Oh, that's audient. Okay, so I think it's this one. Okay.
Yeah. I give you permission to sit back and treat yourself like a goddess. Let your subjects tell you all the wonderful things about you. Bask in the glory, agree with them. Yes, you are that good. And yes, you are going to forge new paths based on all those jaw dropping, awe inspiring talents that you possess. And the key to this is the planning ahead and then, and, seeing yourself in the future as this goddess and everything. That's what the visuals do. And the pro, how many of us have friends? I'm high visual, so I do this. We have friends where they set up where we're going to go do this, we're going to do this, and they've got these party things all planned out, and we're going to do this, we're going to eat here, we're going to go there, we're going to
Oh yeah.
and if one thing goes wrong, they just lose it. I mean, so that would be me.
Yeah.
And it's like, because we visualized it, and if it doesn't go through, it's like we just lose it. It
Yep.
didn't work. It didn't come out to plan. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that,
One of my good friends, she's very high visual. Yeah, it's a she if we're traveling, she plans everything out and but she
yeah,
knows with me that I just go where the wind takes
yeah,
me,
yeah.
wander off
That's
in
my
this direction.
husband. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
she'll
husband. He's just like,
yep,
yeah, okay,
she'll
yeah,
pick a
which
day
is
where she just
really
gives
good.
up control and she's like, "Okay, we'll just wander." And
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
oh,
exactly.
that's so funny.
Let's see. Did we get them all? Oh, then let's go to
Audience.
audient.
Yes.
I need the eyes on. Okay. I give you permission to act like you're hot shit. You're the trust my own damn self, decision making queen who doesn't need to follow anyone's path. Sure, you're learning from others is great, but at the end of the day, you're celebrating yourself and your own journey. And
Mhm.
that's audient learning. Audient people love to learn things. They like to listen to audio tapes, learning how to do this. They love to read about how to do stuff. Um,
Mhm.
that's the audient people. I'm high audience. No, I do. I know some people that are intuitive, uh, feeling, and audient, in that
Mhm.
way, or in intuitive, audient, and feeler, especially
Mhm.
if they're intuitive, audient, feeler.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, they are the best singers, and they can remember a song. I mean, they can remember every song, the words to every song.
Oh,
Intuitive
wow.
first. Yeah, the intuitive next to audient will help them to remember everything they've read. If it's intuitive visual, then they're not knowing the words. They like see it in their mind.
Mhm.
Is that they can still see
Ah,
all the music in their mind. Um,
yeah.
but anyhow, they do it. They remember them all. Well, of course, mine is last. I can't remember the words to any songs. So if people say, "Well, what's your favorite songs?" All of them. you know,
The songs. I'll tell you once I hear it again.
as soon as then, if I come across people who are like me, who answer kind of like me, I know right away I'm dealing with somebody who's intuitive is last. And
Mhm.
so they have no boundaries. They're going to do stupid things.
Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so cool.
Yeah, and so it's hard to get mad at people when you analyze,
Yeah.
what gift order they are, because it
Yeah.
explains they're just communicating the way that they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is you and I talking about this off camera has helped me so much with having more patience towards people and yeah, understanding where they're coming from and if they don't understand what I'm saying, then I can kind of step back and think, okay, how do I make it a feeling? How do I describe a feeling, or how do I describe visually, or like how can I say this in a different way that helps them? Yeah, it has been so helpful. This needs to be taught junior, senior year high school
Yeah. Yeah,
because
to communicate to a person who is, let's say, first feeler, you'll know
hmm
you're dealing with somebody who is first feeler. Their
hmm
body is moving all over the place when they talk. And if they're first feeler and second audient, all they want to talk about is their feelings
yeah,
and everybody else's feelings.
yeah,
And they just go on and on and on and talk about feelings. Where if it was
mhm,
visual first and audience second, like me, I want to talk about plans. I want to talk about what I see. I want to talk about that kind of stuff,
yeah,
art. You know,
yeah.
I went to a museum. I got to describe the brush strokes. My gosh, I mean, doesn't everybody want to talk about brush strokes? You know, uh,
Oh, I
whereas
love
a
this.
feeler like Al will go to the museums, and he being that he's an intuitive feeler, he likes the visual pictures on the walls and things like that, the paintings. But you show him a statue or some sort of a structure that's made, and he's just there with it. And I'm like, why? You know?
What are you doing?
Yeah. And he's really likes it. So
Yeah. That is so interesting. I never even thought about that, as far as what people are drawn to at museums and things like that.
yeah.
Um, yes, yeah, I'm just thinking through my family. I'm always drawn towards the paintings. My husband is drawn towards, yeah, the sculptures or like anything that's a little bit more physical. Um, I don't know. Yeah, that is so interesting. Now I'm going to
And
really
with me
pay
being
attention.
high visual, I'm going to walk a path. If I see a path in the woods, I'm going to walk the path. Well, Al
Mhm.
being a high intuitive, he, why? I mean, he doesn't understand why you'd want to be on a path. He's
Right,
plowing through he's plowing through the thickest woods you can find. He's got to feel, because he's second feeler, so he's got to feel all the branches and the leaves touching him all over the place. And I'm feeling is not my top two. And so
right,
I'm not really crazy about them touching me as I go by, because yeah, sometimes I don't want to talk to them.
right.
I just want the piece of the path, because for me a path is is very calming. And for
Yeah,
someone like a high intuitive, a path is is
boring.
like putting up a fence,
Yeah,
or some kind of a sign that says keep out. They don't like
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. That is so funny. Yeah, but I would agree. I prefer not the path, but I do like if there's a smaller little tiny path where yeah, things are hitting you. But yeah, I never thought about that. When I'm out in nature, I want something in my way that I have to walk around so that I can look at it and touch it and take a picture of it and do whatever, and then I'll move on. But yeah, I don't want a path. I never thought about that. I want stuff in my way. I want to hike around and yeah.
Yeah. And it stops a lot of arguments. You wonder, why would you do that? It's really fun to watch little kids. Now that I know all this stuff, and we went to these classes in this way back in the 80s. And so for a long time now, I've seen these little kids and watched little kids and how they do things. And don't you know, you can really easily tell if they're sitting at their desk or sitting in there making all kinds of little noises constantly,
Hmm.
but it's
Yeah.
nonsense noises.
Yeah.
The first two gift orders they have are intuitive. I mean, not are audient. They're
Mhm.
audient. But if what they're saying, if they're saying things and they're really picky to make sure they're humming things and saying things, and they're really picky to make sure the words are correct, like this one little boy I know, he's got to get the words right to this one
Yep.
really long song. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know like the first three words to it, and he knows all the words. And
Yeah.
if anyone sings one word wrong or even a pause wrong, he's like, no,
Yeah.
because he's an intuitive audience, and
Yes.
they know
Yeah.
they,
I
they
do.
know. And
Yes.
they so they yeah.
Oh, I love that. And I think too, because I think kids and teenagers go through phases where some of those do pop up, like they're stronger than others. Because I
Yes.
know with like tweens, for example, if I was to say like, oh, it's 3 o'clock, and a tween would be like, no, it's 3:02. And that's like
Yes.
that's just them, right? And then some of them lose that and others don't. They're like, no, it has to be exact. And I remember I used to think with my middle daughter, I would think, man, she has to be so sassy. She's always correcting. And then once she got older, I'm like, oh no, that's just her. Like she's very specific, like down to every detail.
That's
And
very
I was
intuitive.
yeah, and that
Yes.
that was bothering her that I was just to in her from her point of view, I'm just spewing things out.
Yes.
I'm not being specific. And so it took me a while but it's been fun like looking back with my kids to like as we talk about gift orders and see like what pops up at specific times in their development versus what they kind of even out into, like what is actually them. I think it's just fascinating. I love it.
It really, 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 really helps. Before I learned all this, I would be wondering what is wrong with that person. And
Yes.
now it's like, huh,
Yep.
that's what they are. They're
Yes.
That's how they communicate. They communicate in that way.
Yes. Yeah. And I think too, and this is why it's just so helpful, but yeah, I'm around people where I'm like, man, how did this conversation once again turn around about how they're feeling? Like,
Yes,
why are we talking about this? And now it's like,
yes,
oh, okay, well, all
they're
right, well,
high
let's
feeler.
get, yeah. And so it
Yeah,
does help because I would get so frustrated with, I don't care how you feel. Let's just move on. But
yeah.
to
So if
them,
they're an
the
intuitive,
conversation wasn't finished, you know. Go
yeah,
ahead.
if they're an intuitive feeler, they have to know everybody's feelings. Well, what do you
Hmm.
think about this? They want to know. They'll say that, what do you think about this? How do you feel about this?
Yes.
And so that, and they have to go into detail, and then they'll give you quotes on what Sigmund Freud said or what everybody else said. Well, according to this, if you get, you know,
Right.
they're so smart that you before you know it, you're depressed just being around them. So
For me, sometimes I'm like, I already know the outcome. Can we just stop talking about it? But they
yes.
can't. They need to keep going.
Yes, yes, yes. There's good side and bad side to each one of these gift orders. There really is. And when you combine them together in all the different ways that you can combine them, uh, there's good and there's bad in how you can combine them. But one of the things that I did learn is that I could increase all of them.
Mhm.
I could make myself be better at all of them. You know,
Yeah.
um, I can
Oh,
be
that's
more aware of the knowing, although my intuition is still pretty bad. I still can't remember any words to any songs. I think I think that's not going to happen ever.
time to move on.
Time to move on with that one.
Oh, I love that. It's like when you golf with a handicap, like it just is what it is. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is so cool. And then you are going to be teaching classes
Mhm.
on this specifically.
Yeah, and it's so
Well,
if it's okay, I'm going to be using your book too. I'm going to add your book to it
yeah,
because it's
do it.
just
Yeah.
perfect for it.
Yeah, do it.
I
Whatever
can't
you
tell
want.
you how many books I've looked at, and I was thinking the other day, I was thinking, I know I've read some things like this. And so I was digging around and there was your book. And I thought, oh, it's always fun to read your book again. And I was like, oh my God, there it is.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you. Yeah, I love that. Um, and then your classes will cover, correct me if I'm wrong, helping people determine what their gift orders are.
Mhm,
Is that correct? And then
mhm.
will you also have classes to help people if they do want to strengthen certain gift orders as well? Like, is that a future thing or is that included in the same class or how is that going to work?
Well, it would depend on the class, I suppose. If they already understand all this, then we go on to the next level. Yeah. And then I like to do when I have groups where I, I can help them understand themselves, take each person and have the whole group help them understand which gift orders they are, because people
Yeah.
sometimes don't realize it themselves.
Yeah.
You know, especially
No.
if their friends are with them, the friends will know right away. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
she's
Oh yeah,
really
I know.
this.
That would be a fun, kind of like a little girls' night out, do that and learn those things.
I remember I did this once for this big group for the county here in town. And I think I had like 200 people there. And one of the first things I said, well, now if you're high intuitive, after I explained everything, I said, if you're high intuitive, you're already done with this and you just like to leave because you already know everything. And this one person's like, "What? How did you know? You must have been reading my mind." I was like,
I love it.
poor intuitive.
I love this. Yeah, this is so necessary. I'm so glad that we're talking about it today. And I think for if it's okay for future calls, I would love to keep kind of expanding on it.
Yeah, you know,
Because
it's a never ending understanding.
yeah.
Uh, Al and I are always fascinated. We have so much fun with this. I think I've said this before. We were at the VA waiting for an appointment, and you could hear this nurse screaming on the phone about some lady who hurt her feelings.
Mhm.
And, and she just went on and on and on so loud the whole waiting room could hear her, and she had an office of her own with the door open, and she's screaming
Oh
on the phone
my.
to some lady about her feelings. You really hurt my feelings. And Al, he just kind of goes like that and touches my elbow, and he uh, hi, audient feeler. Audient first, she's got to be loud, got to be heard, because
Hmm.
if she's not loud and not heard, then she's not expressing herself. So
Yeah.
audient, and then feeler, that's all she wants to talk about is
Hmm.
feeling. And then when she
Yeah.
came out of there, she was so happy. She was so relaxed. It's just the joyous woman in the whole group. There was like about 40 of us sitting there waiting for different appointments. We were all like shattered from having to hear this 20-minute long tirade.
Yeah.
And she
And then
was
she
just
walks out like a whole
so
different person.
relaxed. She felt great because
Yeah.
she got her feelings out and she
Yeah.
made sure she was heard.
Yes. Yeah. And I think too, that's a huge thing to understand are getting their feelings out. I mean, that is huge, especially in understanding these gift orders, especially as a parent or anybody working with children. If you're not used to that and you're not used to big, loud feelings, it feels like an attack. It feels like
Yes,
immaturity. It feels like all kinds of things that it is not. It's
yes,
somebody getting something out of their body, and that's it. It's not something you have to hang on to. You don't have to process it for them, but they have to verbally, loudly get it out. And
yes,
yeah, and learning that difference is huge. And if people would understand that more, there would be so much less miscommunications. And also, we as a society would not shame people as much for getting their big feelings out. But also, if you knew that was you, you would learn how to not maybe put 40 people waiting in a waiting room through that because you would have other ways to cope to get your stuff out, you know? So it's just, it's so helpful to understand these things. I just love it.
yeah.
I'm so,
I would have been mad at this lady, and a lot of the people were there, especially these old veterans. They were like
yeah,
really mad at her for being so horrible.
yeah,
And Al and I we were just sitting there grinning because we knew she was a high audience visual, a high audience feeler. We just
right.
knew.
Yeah.
So you can't
Oh,
get
yeah.
mad.
Right. Exactly. And I know I would have sat there thinking, well, I hope I never have to see this lady face to face. Like I would not have wanted to see her.
Yeah.
So yes, understanding it from these different points of view are just huge. And I don't know, I just feel like you're talking about this again and you starting your classes back up is such perfect timing to where I think we're all just kind of shifting anyway. So to me, this is just wonderful. I'm so excited. So excited by it. I love it. Okay, so we will, as you have in-person classes coming up in 2026, we'll let people know when and where once you have them, but then also we will keep talking about it on the podcast too. So
Yeah, it helps to it's something that we can never stop learning.
yeah, yes, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I know it has made me kind of slow my roll, cool my jet, all those kinds of things, the more that you and I talk about it, and the more I learned. Because for me, when I hear you talk about it, I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense. I leave you, and then I'm by myself, and I'm like, wait, what'd she say again? Or how'd this work again? And so for me, it has been helpful to know, okay, I feel like I'm butting heads with them, but I know they're not bad. I know they're not trying to do anything. So right now, I just tell myself, okay, they communicate differently. Their gift order's different. I'm just going to accept that for now because I don't understand all of it yet. But I can at least accept that we're different and I don't have to negatively react to them. And
Yes.
I think that's just a great first step to start with all of
Yeah.
this is just
With all of
understanding.
it. Yes.
Yeah, and then I'll learn the rest as we go, and it'll slowly start to trickle and stick in my brain so that I can actually maybe someday say things out loud like how you're saying them.
Yeah. Quite a while after we had taken classes in Florida, like in the 80s, I think it was like in like 89 or 90, something like that. We went to another class like this, somebody was talking about it. And I thought, well, I already know all this stuff. I can't possibly learn more. And I learned all kinds of new stuff that I didn't think about. It's just everybody brings up different things.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
like, oh, okay.
yes, and this, to me anyway, this makes more sense to my brain than all those personality tests and all those different things
Yeah.
out there. This makes more
Yeah.
sense to me, so it's
Yeah.
easier for me, yeah, to take.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you for sharing with us. This was so cool and fun. I just love it.
Yeah. I like this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So when we
Yeah.
do add people to our lives, we're not picking people that are like us, because a lot of times that's what we do is, I'll get somebody who's a visual audient like me, and we're going to have a lot to talk about, and we'll talk forever with each other, make out our plans, you know. And instead, uh, I'm looking at people that are in tune with my thinking rather than in tune with how I communicate.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of values do they have? That
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I'm
Yeah.
I it kind of eliminates the choices I make, because especially since my intuition is so low, I make choices that are really wrong. And so I'm I'm not making choices based on if they're like me. I'm making how my gift order me. I'm making choices on, are they a nice person?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. And one of the things I have to get better at is I, I hang out with my 15-year-old daughter a lot, and she's also intuitive. Sometimes I'll forget to even have like a real conversation with someone because we don't always have to say words or like we're never full sentence. It's a very different communication style. And then I get
That's
with
right.
someone else who communicates differently, and I'm like, oh, I have to
Like
like
me.
I have to like get sentences out of my mouth and like they
Yeah.
need to make sense. It's not just like I don't know, like we communicate in very small like body language, maybe one word here and there, a giggle, a roll your eye, like
Yeah.
entire conversations that we're having. And I
Yes.
can't do that with everyone else. So I have to, yeah, it's
Yes.
very interesting. Like once you start to see it, even if I can't define it with my mouth yet, I'm seeing
Yeah.
it as you teach me, and it is so interesting. I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like how I always interrupt you, I can't help it. It's my disease. I'm a high audience.
Notice. That's hilarious. I've never noticed you interrupting me. That's
I
funny.
try so hard not to. There I go.
I have to work on that too. Oh, I love it. All right. Okay, this was amazing. Thank you so much for teaching us. And then I think you had said that if anyone is interested in doing an online class, you would at least think about doing it.
Down the road, yeah.
Yep, down the road. So for now it'll be in person and then through our podcast too, she'll be teaching us, but then also down the road. Yeah, doing some classes too online. So yeah, I just love it. Thank you, Casey. This was wonderful. This is what we needed.
Thanks.
Yes. All right. Okay, everybody. Stay tuned for more. If you liked it, comment and let us know too, so that we know we're on the right path here. Yay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.